All right, everyone, back over here at San Diego BMW Motorcycles where I bought a whole bunch of bikes, and today I'm test riding this bad boy, and I got my man home right here to walk us through it. So what am I going to go ride? Tell me about it.
All right, you're riding GSA, the new 1300 GS Adventure. You're going to be riding the automatic shift assist.
Automatic shift assist.
Yeah, so not automatic transmission, automatic shift assist.
Okay.
So imagine your bike, your XR or your old GSs that you rode with kind of a computer module doing the shifting for you.
Okay.
So it's kind of like but it's the shift assist. So there's still a quick shifter on the bike, which is why there's still a shift lever.
But there's no clutch.
No clutch. You don't have to worry about clutch at all.
So somebody count in the video how many times I reach for the clutch, if you could see my hand.
So if you've ever ridden a scooter or a DCT bike that's an automatic, it's the same principle.
Okay.
But rather than having like two clutches or an automatic transmission, this is an automatic shift assist.
Automatic shift assist.
Which means that you can override it anytime, just like your quick shifter on your XR.
Yeah.
Anytime you want to shift up, you just pop up. Anytime you want to shift down, you just pop down. So even if it's an automatic mode, you can still do that.
Gotcha.
Right? So
okay.
Some kind of quick to know. But yeah, no clutch lever. So you will be pulling for that a bunch of times.
Yeah, I bet.
And the rest of it is going to be really similar to your GSs that you've ridden. So your power button's going to be up here. I've got keyless ride. And then with these, it has park mode. So you want to make sure it's in neutral. And I can put it in park mode, but if it's in neutral, I can just fire it up right away. Kickstand's got to be up.
Oh,
It'll
okay.
actually tell you.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
Do that. And then with any bike that's kind of an automatic, you kind of have to pull in the brake while you.
Okay. Just to make sure if it happens to be in gear, you're not going to go anywhere.
Yeah, if it's in neutral, they won't let you start the engine because the bike's in neutral. So
okay.
You have to hold in the brake. Anyone that's ever ridden a scooter knows this. This is the way you turn on a scooter. You have to hold the brake.
Can it be rear brake as well?
Let's find out. So let me hop on the bike.
How are we doing, man?
What's up, man? These guys are tall. So rear brake.
There you go, rear brake, and you can start it. Perfect.
So as long as a brake's engaged, because if it's in neutral and you have an automatic, then it's going to be coasting. So
gotcha.
That's why they want you to grab the brake and then.
Okay.
So once I've had that, I can pretty much just put the bike in gear and it'll be in drive mode. So it has an M or a D. This button here will change between the two modes. And this is your transmission mode. That's drive, that's automatic, which means you just twist and go and it's going to change all the gears for you automatically. Manual mode will put the gear number as the big number and then the little M is manual.
So when it's in that mode, I'm shifting.
You're shifting. It's going to stay in first gear until I shift
like normal.
Yeah.
Like a normal quick shifter.
Like normal, you're just not going to grab the clutch.
Just how you use the clutch. Okay.
Yeah, you're basically just engaging the quick shifter. So if I want to shift up, I can just go to, it's not going to go to 3 because it needs to be moving. So go down to 1.
So if it's in the automatic mode,
there.
Now if say it goes to like 4th gear, but I want to go to 3rd, can I make it go down to 3rd?
Go to 3rd. So if I'm in 4th gear and I feel like it's a little bit too high of revs or too low of revs, I can just pop it down to 3rd gear and it'll pop down to 3rd gear.
Will it go down to 3rd gear and switch it to manual, or will it stay in drive?
I believe it goes stay in drive.
It'll stay in drive.
If you're driving.
Okay, gotcha. Man, that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I've ridden this about 4 or 5 times, and I played around with that too. And I don't remember all the little details if it stays, but you'll see it right away.
Yeah, if it'll switch over.
Yeah, if it'll switch over. But you see how if I'm drive, as soon as I hit the throttle, it starts going forward.
Yeah, and you're in 2nd.
I'm in 2nd. So I could be in 1st if I want.
Here you go. So you can't stall the bike.
Can't stall the bike. I can be in 1st and hit the clutch, go into 2nd. It goes into 2nd. I'm not stalling the bike. I twist the throttle.
Look at that.
The throttle. Oops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not gonna. Yeah.
I'm never stalling the bike.
Interesting.
So once I park, the bike will go into park, and then now it's kind of locked in.
So it like engages first gear or something, so it doesn't roll around.
Yeah, it puts it in a park gear. I don't know if it has it probably first gear.
Because everybody else, we just leave it in 1st, and that is the parking brake,
That is the parking brake. So there you go. So I'm now in park. If I now want to push the bike, I have to disengage it out of park. So let's say I want to push the bike manually.
Like in your garage.
Like in your garage or out in the parking lot. I gotta move it. You gotta engage it by just hitting the ignition once, and then it goes into neutral.
And then put it in neutral, then it's in neutral.
And now I can
Oh, okay. And this has all the normal features as the 1300 GS Adventure. It still has an 8-gallon fuel tank.
It has the big 8+ fuel tank.
Okay.
So the big long-range fuel tank.
All the tech the same.
Adaptive cruise control.
Nice.
Radar here. You have electronic windshield.
Oh, sweet.
So I can adjust that.
Nice.
You have heated grips, heated seat. The only option that isn't on this demo bike is the auto lowering. So this one doesn't have that automatic lower to the low spot when you get rolling.
Auto lowering. And we were just talking about that. So say you're going 40, right? And you're coming to a stop.
So as you get to about 15, 12 miles an hour, it'll already lower to the kind of the low position.
So low before you even come to a stop.
Before you even come to a stop. So by the time you get to the stop, you'll be in that low position. And we have a bike here that has, so you saw me sit on this one.
Yeah, it's tall.
High position.
So when you take off, how quickly does it go back up? Like after?
When it needs to.
Oh, okay.
The thing is, like the engineers.
If you're staying 10 miles per hour, it won't.
As it gets going, it's going to go up and down based on every condition.
Okay.
So if you hit a dirt road, it's going to go higher. If you hit a freeway, it's probably dropping you down to get better aerodynamics. I mean, I think the engineers have it's not like it just goes and stays up. It actually will adjust
adjusts
as needed.
Wow.
So you can see here, I've got the balls of my feet on the ground.
Yeah, you're tippy toeing it.
Not total tippy toe, but I got the ball like close to the balls of my feet. On that one, I was dancing.
Right.
I was like, dancing. So this is the low position when it drops to the low position.
Okay, so so they engineered that so more people that are a little bit on the shorter side can not be so intimidated riding the GSAs because they'll lower for you.
Yep.
Awesome.
And there's two different heights of that lowering. You can get one called adaptive height control and one called adaptive height control comfort, which is an inch lower than the regular auto lowering. It makes it really confusing, but there's two different lowering positions.
Okay.
Depending on which one it's equipped with.
Gotcha. Alrighty. Well, this is going to be an experience.
Pretty fun. It's easy. It's kind of one of these bikes where it's easy. If you just want to twist and
twist and go.
Twist and go. You hit a dirt road, just twist and go.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about anything. It makes everything easy.
So what's going to be interesting?
If you let what the engineers have spent all their time doing and figuring all that out, and you just let that bike do its thing, it'll be easy. If you try to ride it like your manual bike and I want to, then you might,
It'll be kind of strange, yeah.
Yeah, you'll kind of be fighting what that engineering is designed for. It will shift higher really quickly.
Yeah.
Because that's where it gets most of its fuel efficiency, and it's a pretty, efficient engine.
Right.
So when I rode it, I felt like it was trying to get into higher gears a lot quicker than I would shift manually.
Okay.
But
the computer's doing it for the most efficiency,
yep,
right?
Absolutely.
But then if you don't want it, you could just put in manual and shift yourself anyway.
Override it. You can go in manual, and you still have modes. So you still have ride modes.
Oh, so dynamic road, and
dynamic
it'll limit
road,
everything.
rain, and obviously those are different shift points.
Yep. Okay. What's going to be interesting to me is when I do, I'm going to go take off and go down to the beach, everyone. I'm going to do some low speed stuff. So now it's just throttle control and rear brake because you don't have the clutch to slip.
Yeah. Correct.
So that'll be
interesting for you when you're doing those parking lot slow.
Yeah, low speed stuff.
Expecting on that.
Yeah, if I can't take away the power when I want to, then it really is throttle and rear brake. There's no other tool to have.
Pretty much relearning.
Yeah,
when you were doing the clutch, you were probably feathering it, but now you
exactly. You have to have way better throttle control, super smooth. Well, all right, buddy, I'm gonna go take it out and go for a ride, and let's see. And by the way, everyone, before I take it for a ride, while he's making sure there's fuel inside of it and checking the tire pressure, big selection of pre-owned bikes out here. Got GS's, 310 GS's, 1250 GS's, Ducati. There's a GS Adventure in ice gray, another GS Adventure. We got a double R here, a 2020 double R with only 2,500 miles on it. So lots and lots of stuff. And just like you just saw, come talk to my man home and tell him MotoJitsu sent you. All right, everyone, as you can see, 2025 BMW 1300 GS Adventure Green. This is the key. Looks like an alien spaceship or something. Pretty neat. Put that in my pocket, put my gloves on, let's go for a ride. So I'm interested to see how this is going to be low speed, because low speed control, you use the clutch to take away power. You can't stall the bike, so it's just pure throttle control. Like any DCT bike, any scooter, it's just pure throttle control and rear brake, since you cannot take away the power because it doesn't have a clutch. So I'm going to leave it in one mode. I'll put it in drive mode, automatic mode, whatever, all the way down till I get to the beach, and on the way back I'll shift myself. But coming to a stop and not pulling in the clutch thinking the bike's gonna stall, that's gonna be interesting. But Holm was telling me that recently retired Marine came in, and I guess he was missing his left leg, So he just wanted something that could still do a lot of stuff. You could travel, you could put the luggage, plenty of power, the technology. You know, these bikes are amazing. But he didn't have to worry. But he didn't want to worry about the clutch and shifting all the crap. But he didn't want to get a scooter or like a trike or something. So he got this, which is pretty cool. And if you watch the video I have about the 1300 GS, I think it's on my bike review. He goes over a bunch of stuff. Like another option is you go to put the bike on the center stand, and once you put it up, it like automatically raises for you to make it easier to put on the center stand. But all the new 1300 GSs, it has the center stand, but also has the option to push this down like this, so it's kind of like up and out of the way, besides just having it up the whole time. So there's that. And you can see like the paint and the finish, the bars. It's a whole new design. I think he told me the last time, if I remember correctly, there's less than 10 parts on the old GSA versus the 1300. Only 10 transferred over, or maybe less than that. So it really is a completely redesigned bike. Like the last 1250 GS Adventure I had, I mean, they've been making that bike for 40 years. So this is the new 1300. And he was telling me yesterday, because I came here to get new brake pads, he was telling me yesterday, Tracy, the manager, he was like, oh, you know, the 1300 RT is coming out, and then the single R and a bunch of other stuff. So new bikes are coming. But enough yapping, let's start riding. So I'm 5'9". I think I wear, my pant size that I wear is like 34, 32, but I really don't know what my inseam is. Maybe 30, I don't know. But either way, I'm 5'9". So right now I am on like my tippy toes on both sides. My tippy toes are touching the ground. So there's that. It's got the indicators right there. Can you see inside the mirror? Like blind spot indicators. Got a big pocket right here. You could put your phone. I think that's wireless charging too. Power button right here. Look at that. Whatever you set the windshield to previous, it remembers it. And when you go to turn it on, it will go back to the original spot of where you wanted it, or where you had it rather. Look at the mirrors so I can actually see what's going on. All right, so one thing he just told me is, so this has everything. This has like heated grips, heated seat, and you can do the windshield. There's no buttons for it, but they put this quick menu button. So you put this quick menu button, this pops up, and you tell the bike what you want it to do, like windscreen. And now that the black dot is on it, now this button controls it. Automatically go up or down. It's like, okay, that's set. Now I want damping. Do I want it dynamic, a little bit stiffer, or do I want to put it in, once I get it set, then I go back here to this button and I could put it in road, which takes the needles out and it'll be a little bit more bouncy. You see that? Or I could put in dynamic and it just stiffens everything up. So it's just a quick way to get to all your heating stuff. So right now it's in heating. I push this circle wheel dial thing over to lock it in, and then this button tells it what to do. So now I could go off with the heated seat. So if I go up, I'm doing the grips. I'll put it on 3, and I'll put the seat on 3. It's kind of confusing. Okay, so just keep on going until it just cycles through. So now I got heated seat and heated grip. So I want to be, my buns are burning. So it's just a quick way to get to all the stuff, right? Other than that, normal GSF or GS stuff. Oh, it's even got a sports screen. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, there you go. Just like on my XR, it got the white is current lean angle, max lean angle. Like say you go riding up and down the road. What's my max lean angle? Got the RPM stuff, brake pressure, DCT. That's cool that it has a sport mode on this thing. And then everything else you can imagine. If you hook up the app, you could go through all the crap, and then you got your settings. You could go through all the different types of things and adjust it just like a normal GS, right? But I'll just leave it right here. Okay, so here we go. So we have to engage a clutch, or engage a brake rather, to start it. So I'm on the rear brake. Now it's in neutral. There. It's in neutral. So this is what I'm afraid of. All right, I'm gonna put it in first gear. So here, I'll put it in there. Now it's in drive mode. So I don't do anything. I'm not even gonna be using my foot. Oh my God, this is gonna be weird. I'm already like kind of nervous. Well, like look at, yeah, this is bizarre. Like right now, the bike would stall because I just came to a stop. This is weird, but we'll see. This will be an experience. And of course, it's got the spot for the navigation system up here. You can attach it up there and it'll be all good there. All right, all clear. Well, it's shifting. I'm not doing anything with my foot. It's already up to 4th gear. It's definitely, Holm was right. It shifts quicker than what I would shift because it's trying to be efficient, right? But big old windscreen, so the camera is like 4 inches lower than my eyeballs. So I'm not looking through the screen. You guys are, but I'm actually looking right above it. And it's really good wind protection, especially for these side ones. So look, wow, it was already in 6th gear. Look at, I'm not doing absolutely anything. It's rev matching, it's blipping. It didn't get down to 1st gear yet. It's still in 2nd. That's interesting. Let's see if it'll go to 1st when I come to a stop. The 1st, there you go. Yeah, that's automatic. It's a big scooter. It shifts, but I'm not doing anything. Wow. Like right there, I try to give it some gas in 1st gear and it shifted right away to 2nd. And it's just right now it's still in 2nd. Yeah, I'm like keeping my balls and my feet on the shift, on the foot peg to like force myself not to try to shift. And as you can see, you got the yellow light right there on the mirror because there's a car there. So one thing that I started to tell, like my last Sunday practice, there's like 24 riders. And my buddy let some other people ride his GS Adventure because I really think there's 2 types of riders. People that rode a GS and people never rode a GS. If you go ride these things, it looks big and intimidating and whatever. They are so easy to ride. They're so well manufactured. That's why I've had 4 GSs. So out of the 25 bikes I think I've had in the last 11 years, 11 of them have been BMWs. I've had 4 GSs, 3 GSs, 1 GS Adventure, double R, 3 single Rs, an XR. They're just amazing machines. So I highly recommend, you could hate this bike, just go ride it. Just go feel what these things feel like and how easy these things are to ride. I mean, this bike is just, it's so maneuverable. It looks like it's big and hard and it'd be super heavy, and even with 8 gallons of fuel, like, it's just simple, effortless. There's no issue with the thing. So right now it's in 5th gear. I want to come over here and get off the highway a little early to go through a little bit of traffic to see how that is before I get to Mission Bay Park over here. Look at that. It's still all the way up in 6th gear. Okay, now it just went down to 5th. Remember, it's the computer's doing it all, so you just don't have to worry about it. Like, whatever, I'm not doing anything. So I'm still in 5th gear, I'm only going 35 miles per hour. So if I was driving myself, well, I would be way lower. Okay, I just reached for the clutch twice. And because it's shifting for me, right, all the engine braking. So it's almost like, kind of like a Tesla. Like it has that regenerative braking, whatever. So like just taking your foot off the gas slows it down. It's like you're not, I use the brakes a little bit, but it's shifting so quickly, it's a lot of engine braking. Obviously, if I was going faster, I'd have to use the brakes, but just something interesting to notice. And like right now, my left foot is completely flat on the ground. So this is how you ride a taller bike if you're shorter. My left foot is completely flat on the ground. I moved my butt off the seat. As you can see, I'm not behind the windshield. I'm slightly off to the left. So it's almost like my right butt cheek and the back of my right leg is the only thing on the seat. And then my right foot stays on the foot peg. And then right now I'm holding the front brake, but I could just hold the rear brake down. Yeah, no clutch. So right now, if I just twist the throttle, you're going. So I'm gonna come up here and do some low speed stuff to see how that works. But what's interesting, talk about launching the bike, you know, with the clutch, you gotta time how quickly you release the clutch and how fast you get on the throttle and the timing of all that to really go and take all of this. You could do it one-handed. So you could start, look at, perfect. Here we go. It went up to 4th gear already. Nothing, one-handed. Just come to a stop, bam, it's in 1st gear. Don't have to do anything. I'm not even putting my hand back on the thing. Once it turns green, just go, one-handed go. Okay, look at, and then just take off, one-handed. You can take off fast. Yeah, so your off the line starts can be really quick. Just twist the throttle. And coming to a stop one-handed. I don't even know if I could go this way. Is this even open? I should have went another one forward. Yeah, I guess. Okay. I was trying to ask him if there. I just pushed my foot down to first gear, and I didn't need to. So you could technically ride one-handed everywhere on this bike because you don't have to pull in the clutch to start or stop. You don't have to shift. So you can ride one-handed everywhere. There you go. It could be a one-handed bike if you know what you're doing, if you know how to push the handlebars. So let me pull over here to Mission Bay Park, to this new parking lot they got over here. This would be really good for low-speed stuff, by the way. Everybody who lives in San Diego, they just redid and reopened up this parking lot, and it's perfect for MotoJitsu. I'll show you what I mean here in a minute. I don't know what kind of color, or this is rubber or cement, I have no idea, but look at all these parking spaces, so MotoJitsu. All right, am I in first? Nope, I'm in second. Let's see if I can make it go down to first. There, now it's in first. All right, so MotoJitsu. Well, the good thing about the GS, the handlebars turn forever. So look at, I'm doing brown belt, which is a figure 8 and 4 parking spots. And pretty much any other bike other than like a GS or a bike like this, you ain't gonna be able to do this without slipping the clutch and going faster. But because these handlebars turn forever, I barely need any lean angle, and I don't need much speed. And look, I didn't even get the full lock yet. I'm simply turning the bars and making this thing go where I want it to go. It's pretty damn crazy. Oh, wow. But it will be limiting, right? So you're gonna be able to do some things, but if I want to do like crazy 13 or like go fast and do this stuff, then I'd want a clutch. Like, I'm not gonna test out the limitations of this stuff because I don't want to drop the bike and pay for whatever damages I do to it. But when I used to have a scooter and playing around with this, or when I rode this electric bike before, or you know, just other things I rode a DCT Goldwing before already. I have a video on that. It is limiting because I want to control the power and when I have it and when I don't. Like right now, the bike is like, it wants to shift maybe, but then it like goes right back down. It's like, okay, what are we doing? So that'd be the only thing. Like, obviously you can still do stuff. You can still practice around and do figure eights and U-turns like I'm doing. And you could be okay. You could be, you know, white belt in my drills. You could do white belt, blue belt, brown belt. You could do whatever. But to really get fast or really get really good at the stuff, you'll be okay at the low speed stuff if you're trying to learn it on this bike. But if you already learned how to do all my MotoJitsu drills or low speed turning on a normal bike with the clutch, and then when you come to this thing, you'll just realize how easy it is. Because again, I mean, look at the handlebars. They just turn forever, and all I'm doing is just dragging the rear brake. That's really it. So anyway, let me come to a stop here. Okay, what do you say to put it into neutral park mode? Nope. Maybe I have to put it in manual mode first to put it into neutral. Nope, that just went to second. Oh, I think I said I got to push this down once. No, I'll just turn it off. I don't know how to put it in neutral. All right, let me put the kickstand down, make sure it's all the way down. And then if I turn it off completely, so that turned off the engine cutoff switch, that's why it's called that. Then this turns off the power, and then look, it goes down. Wow. So I'll be the first to admit I wasn't convinced, and I didn't understand the purpose. But even me, I think I'm a pretty good rider. I could see the appeal to this, and I could see why. Like, say you have an injury with your leg or your hand, carpal tunnel, your wrist, or if you're perfectly healthy, I could still see the appeal for this bike because it has so much technology It's so easy to ride. It's so powerful. The brakes are so good. Protection's awesome. 8 gallons of fuel, heated seat, heated grip, luggage, electronic windshield, GPS, adaptive cruise control, blind spot indicators. Like, lowering itself is pretty damn awesome. I'm just going to admit that I wasn't convinced, but now I am. I was blind and now I see. And I think it looks cool. I did not like the way the 1300 looked at all in pictures, but in person it looks way better in person than I think. And then I don't know, when I get back I'll ask home if there's like one I could take out for like a day or something, so I could go do some twisties with it, because that'd be interesting. But keep in mind, I just rode the whole way here in drive, like it's shifting for me. So I'm gonna put it in manual. Now it will stay in first gear until I shift it. So it's just like having a quick shifter like normal. So you could do that too. If you want to shift it when you want to shift it, like if you go on the twisties, you put in manual, so you could go higher in the RPM and like ride the way you run, right? And you downshift whenever you want to as well. Like in the twisties, you're having some fun, you're riding a little bit more spirited. But you get back on the highway, why would I want to worry about shifting? I just put it in drive mode. So I'm just thinking, if I bought this bike, how would I ride it and where would I use this technology? So every time I'm on the highway going to and from the twisties, it would be on adaptive cruise control and drive mode. Because why not? That'd be ridiculous not to. But once I got to Palomar Mountain or Highway 94 or Banner or whatever, once I actually get into the twisties, I would absolutely put it in dynamic pro mode. Like I'd adjust the modes to have all the power and, you know, less restrictive ABS, all that crap. So I'd put it in dynamic pro mode, and I'd put the damping in dynamic as well to tighten everything up so it's not so loose and bouncy. So twisties would be like dynamic pro and dynamic settings, which is like what my bike is in right now. But once I left the twisties, it would absolutely go into drive mode because it's automatic. I don't have to worry about moving my feet around, and it would be adaptive cruise control everywhere. So that's what I would do. Pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. All right, let's go back. And I'll put it into manual mode. I think I'm only going to be doing this for like 5 seconds. And I'm like, screw this. Let's see. I get the power going. Do I just start it? Let's see. It's in park. Actually, oh, I got to hit the brake. So stomp down on the rear brake. Let's see if that's true. That's true. Oh, and the shifter is not like a normal shifter where you could actually feel it mechanically shift. It just moves a little bit because it's all computer. So, how do I explain this? What's a good analogy? Think about a light switch at your house, right? It just moves a little bit, but it turns the light on. It's not like a mechanical big thing that you're actually feeling something turn, something do something. It's just electronic. You're just moving it enough to tell the computer I want to shift, and then it just, so it's not a big movement. Okay, let me go 0 throttle. Yeah, and I can downshift when I want. So absolutely true what I said before. If I'm in the twisties, I'm riding around how I want around. I'll shift when I want to shift, because the drive mode shifts way too early because it's being efficient. If I want to go hit the twisty mountain roads, I'll put it in manual mode and I shift when I want to now. See, rev matches for you, everything. Technology, the future is here. Come to a dead stop without pulling the clutch. That's super bizarre. Can take off as fast as I want. Yeah, clutch. Oh, there we go. Shorts and a half helmet. You don't need pants, just don't crash, bro. So, yes, if I bought this bike today, what I said what I would be doing. I would only use manual mode when I'm at or in the twisty mountain roads. One-handed all the way back to the dealership. This is gonna be weird. Look at this. I'm only using the front brake. Come to a dead stop. Now it went to first gear. I actually stopped and then it went to first gear. So while I was rolling, it still stayed in second. But I'm gonna ride one-handed all the way back. This will be That's strange. Let me see what's going on. Okay, it's clear. Yeah, it shifts way earlier. Like, I wouldn't even have gotten to third gear at all, just this little distance, but, you know, it's trying to be efficient. The technology is trying to be efficient. Just let the bike do its thing. But, like, say you're merging onto a highway and you don't want it to shift so fast, well, put it in manual mode, shift up to the speeds you want, and then put it in drive mode, since you could do that on the fly. So, seeing as how quickly it shifts, and I'd want to like go faster in the lower gear, like higher in the RPM, that's probably what I would do also. Whenever I'm going onto a highway or whenever I really want to accelerate, maybe I'd put it in manual and shift myself up until I got up to speed, and I would switch it over to drive mode, or yeah, drive mode, pure automatic, once I'm actually up to speed. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, one-handed riding, so only thing I need to do now is just hit the blinker. Let people know what's going on. And I'm just gonna go ahead and turn off the blinker. Alrighty. Oh, I just went to the clutch again. Oh, this will be interesting. So it's in drive. Can I back up? Look at that. I could back up freely. No brake, and it's in first gear, and I'm just backing up. So I didn't know you could do that. So that answered a question that I didn't know I had until right at that moment. And then, okay, I can turn off the engine. It's in park. Now I turn off the power. Windshield goes down. Pretty cool. And there we are, everyone. Amazing technology, power, brakes, fuel. 8 gallons is awesome. Windshield, GPS capable, luggage capable, heated seats. The passenger has manual heated seats, normal or level 2. Yeah, it's, what a bike. I get it now. I really get it. I understand. I'm gonna go talk to Home and tell them all the stuff I just discovered that I just told all you guys, and wow, pretty cool. So check out the other bike reviews I have. I have a whole playlist called Bike Reviews, and if you're in the area, come test drive this exact bike that I just did, and then go check out all the other pre-owned bikes. They got a lot of GS Adventures. I think they have an XR here, like my bike, a 2021, I think, and everything else you can imagine. Just go talk to Home, tell them I sent you. But thanks for watching, everyone. Hit subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. All right, everybody, so a couple more things I just talked to Home about. So I was correct. When you do the adaptive cruise control, if you go into the menu, I don't have the key anymore, but when you go into the menu, you could determine how close you want to get. There's 3 different levels of how close you want to get from the car in front of you with adaptive cruise control. And there's emergency, like auto braking. But like if you're coming too close, or if you're daydreaming or whatever, like it'll brake for you. Not slam on the brakes, but it'll like either pulse or like tell you like, hey, you know. But like if you're lane splitting, you'll want to turn that off, because obviously if you're getting really close to cars, the bike doesn't know, like, oh my God, you're about to hit stuff, and it'll be braking for you. So if you do a lot of lane splitting, I'd probably turn that feature off, the auto braking stuff. But it does have 3 levels of adaptive cruise control closeness if you want to get to the other vehicle. So there we are.